Hi everybody, this is Reverend Essie, and I think you all know me. I hope I know all of you. God is good, and I was thinking since we're inside the house and people are, we're social distancing, I saw a friend of mine named Carol that was reading, and she was reading that was beautiful from Brownsville Library, so I figured I would read too, especially to the little kids. This is for you, okay? And I hope you enjoy it. When back in around 1998, I was reading for First Street School in Canonsburg, Pennsylvania, and the kids loved Liza Lou and the Yeller Belly Swamp. If I can say it, the Yeller Belly Swamp. And I would go read to them I guess weekly or something, and the kids loved it. So when the library was getting rid of their books, they gave me this book, and I'll show you inside. It's a discard, actually. Okay, see? And my daughter signed it over to me. I don't know if you can see this, to my mother from Alexi to keep, 28 May 98, okay? So I've had this book that long. And this, to be honest with you, this was one of my favorite books. I can't remember. I like this so much I can't even remember what else I used to read to them. But I had a good time, and so did they. So I'm going to read this to you guys today. Sit down, chill out, relax, and I hope you enjoy this, guys, okay? So, one fine day, Liza Lou's mother said, "Apple Dumpling, I want you to take this tote bag full of sweet potatoes over to Grandma's house and cook them up for her. She's feeling mighty poorly. But mind you, especially careful when you cross the Yeller Belly Swamp." "I will, Mama," said Liza Lou as she set off along the old swamp road. She's heard tell about a good-for-nothing swamp hunt thereabouts who snatched away small children. And no sooner did she come to an old abandoned shed than she heard a terrible moaning and howling. Sure enough, out of the broken window jumped a pale, nasty swamp hunt. "Liza Lou," that swamp hunt moaned, "I'm going to snatch you away." "Oh, Mr. Swamp Hunt," cried Liza Lou, "snatch me away if you must, but please, oh please don't snatch away my tote bag full of sweet potatoes." Now, Swamp Hunt may be good at snatching, but he's none too good at catching on. Lickety-split, he snatched the tote bag right out of Liza Lou's hand. "Oh no," cried Liza Lou, "whatever you do, don't carry those sweet potatoes over to my grandma's house, and please, oh please don't cook them up in the pan." But before you could say, "Yeller belly, cottonmouth, possum up a tree, you could catch the swamp beaver, but you can't catch me," that good-for-nothing hunt ran clear through the swamp to Grandma's house just so he can cook up those sweet potatoes and make Liza Lou miserable. Isn't that just how our enemies do? Try to make us miserable, right? Isn't he ugly? He's cooking them up. Now, Grandma loved fresh cooked sweet potatoes, sorry about that. But she surely didn't like good-for-nothing swamp hunt messing around her kitchen. So before she sat down to eat, 1, 2, 3, she picked up the still hot frying pan and shooed him right out the door. By that time, Liza Lou was safe at home, having a fine, sweet potato dinner with her mother. And there they are eating. See, guys? Do you eat with your mom and your dad? And some of you, maybe your brothers and your sisters? Okay. Continue to do so, because it's a wonderful thing to do. Be with your family, right? Especially the times that we're in now. Be with your family. The very next morning, Liza Lou's mother said, "Sugar Plum, I want you to pole across the swamp and take these hot huckleberry muffins to your Auntie Jane. But mind you, hurry over, because there's no sense dilly-dallying in that Yeller Belly Swamp." Liza Lou did as she was told. No dillying under a bobcat, no dallying by a cottonmouth, and not a bit of dilly-dallying along an alligator. By and by, she came to Aunt Jamie's. Who's this, guys? Ooh, what is that? Ooh, what is this? Wow. Okay. So she made it to Aunt Janie's. After a tasty lunch of black-eyed peas with huckleberry muffins for dessert, it was time to pull back home. "Liza Lou," said Aunt Jane, "if you will take this soiled Sunday go-to-meeting finery and boil it up and scrub it all real clean for me by next Friday, I'll bake you a pecan pie of your very own. But get on home real quick now, so as you won't be out in that yeller belly swamp after dark." Liza Lou didn't have to be told twice. Do some of you have to be told twice to do something? Not good, guys. Not good. She knew all about the wicked swamp witch lurking out there in the reeds. If ever she caught you, there was no telling what she'd do. Uh-oh. Do you see? What is that? Ooh. And what are these? What are they called, you guys? You know? Cattails? Yeah. You got any cattails where you live at? Well, no sooner had Liza Lou pulled around a big clump of cattails than a gnarled hand reached out and grabbed her. Dun, 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 dun. "Liza Lou," that swamp witch cackled, "I'm going to boil you in a big pot of water, and then I'm going to chew on your bones." "Oh, Miss Swamp Witch," cried Liza Lou, "boil me in your big pot of water if you must, and chew on my bones as much as you like. But please, oh please, don't boil this precious little child I've got cradled in my arms." Now, everybody knows that the Swamp Witch is meaner than a stomped-on polecat. But not everybody knows that she's blinder than a cave bat. And there she is. Ew. Check out her specs, guys. See her specs? Look at her nails. I hope you don't have nails like that. Quicker than a blink, that old witch grabbed up that bundle of Sunday go-to-meeting finery and pitched it into boiling water. She snickered as she stirred and she stirred. But just because a swamp witch can't see worth a toot, doesn't mean she can't sniff out a lie. "I don't smell no little child a-cooking in this pot," she said suspiciously. Oh. "Why, Miss Swamp Witch," said Liza Lou, "sweet as syrup. Then maybe you could smell a little closer." So the witch leaned way over the pot. What do you think's going to happen, guys? She leaned way over the pot and she sniffed. And she sniffed. "There ain't no little child in this pot at all," growled the witch. "But before you can say..." See the pot? "But before you can say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on a double, if you mess around with me, it's a mess of trouble." Ha ha. Liza Lou pushed that old swamp witch splat into the pot of boiling water. With a hoot and a holler, the witch leaped right back out again and skedaddled into the swamp, a-screeching with all her might. After a while, the Sunday go-meeting finery was boiled all nice and clean, and Liza Lou fished it out and went on home. When Friday came, Aunt Janie baked her pecan pie of her very own, which Liza Lou shared with her mother. Isn't it? Look at all of that. She's screeching on home, guys. That's what you should do to them nasty witches. Make them screech on home, right? But we know somebody that beats the witches. Let me see. Make sure I got the right page. I think I turned one too many. Hold on, guys. Okay? I don't want you to miss nothing. This is a good story. "Honey child," Liza Lou's mother said one sparkly afternoon, "take this wagon load of junk and pitch it in the dump. But mind you, watch your P's and Q's down by the yellow-bellied swamp bridge." Now, Liza Lou took good advice when she got it, because she had been warned about the slithery gobbledygook living under that old swamp bridge. If ever he heard anyone crossing up, he slithered and gobbled out that person for his dinner. How would you like to be his dinner? No, not even with bread, right? Not even with bread or butter. No, he can't have you. Tell him Reverend Nessie said he can't have you. That's right. No sooner Liza Lou crossed the rickety old bridge than, sure enough, the gobbledygook crept up out of the mucky goo and said, my, Here comes dinner. Why, whatever can you mean by that, Mr. Gobbledygook, said Liza Lou, bold as brass. That means I'm going to gobble you up right here and right now. Oh, does that make me feel better, said Liza Lou. Gobble me up if you must. Go right ahead, but please, oh please, don't gobble up this valuable treasure I'm trucking in my wagon. Well, a gobbledygook, he doesn't know what a treasure is from what it isn't. He just likes to gobble. So he asked greedily, is that treasure any good for gobbling? Nobody gobbles treasure, said Liza Lou. Everybody saves it. Child, said the gobbledygook, don't you tell me what to do, 'cause I gobbles anything I likes. And the first thing I'm going to gobble up is that treasure. And he commenced to gobble the whole wagon load of junk. When he was done, he turned to Liza Lou. Now I'm going to gobble up you. But try as might, he couldn't even stand. He had gobbled far too much junk. That rickety old swamp bridge began to creak, and it began to sway. And before you can say, catch a turtle, catch a snake, catch a little froggy, if you throw cornbread down the well, it's going to get real soggy. She got him. Oh. That slithery gobbledygook sank glub, 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 back into the mucky goo where he belonged. There he goes. See his ugly feet? She's a smart girl. Like you guys, all you girls out there, you're smart girls, right? And the boys too, you're smart boys, right? Well, thought Liza Lou as she drove her mother's empty wagon back home. That bridge never was too safe anyway. Bright and early that very next day, Liza Lou's mother said, "Hush, puppy. I want you to take this jug of blackstrap molasses over to the parson's wife so she and the parson can have some with their breakfast hot cakes." You guys like hot cakes? Pancakes? Flapjacks? But mind you, be most particular when you pass the old well at the far side of the Yellow Belly Swamp. "I will, Mama," said Liza Lou, because she knew all about that sly swamp devil who lived at the bottom of the well. If ever he caught anyone passing by, he'd jump down inside his ear and stole his soul away. Ooh. Hey, you know what this means, guys? Keep your ears clean, right? Get some Q-tips. Keep your ears clean. Oh, you see her baby doll? Oh, there it is. There's a blackstrap molasses. Okay. Look at her baby doll. You guys have baby dolls and toys that you like? Okay. What is this, guys? What's that look like? An opossum? A possum? A possum or opossum? One of you guys can write me and let me know that later. Okay? When Liza Lou got to the old well, there sat the swamp devil just waiting for her. "Liza Lou," he said, "I'm going to jump down inside your ear and steal your soul away." Now, swamp devil was mighty tricky, so Liza Lou knew she'd better do some pretty fancy thinking. "Oh, Mr. Devil," she said, "I'm so glad to hear that. I thought you might steal away the soul I'm keeping safe inside this jug. Now, what would I want with just a soul?" The devil grinned. "It's yours I want, Liza Lou." "Thank goodness," sighed Liza Lou, "because it's the parson's soul I've got in my jug, and it would be just awful if you ever stole that." Okay. Oh, look at his tail, guys. Isn't that something? He's ugly. Of course, there's nothing in this wide world a sly swamp devil likes more than a parson's soul. He really thought he had something. "Open up that jug, child," he wheeled. And you just let me see that Parson's soul. Well, Liza Lou let him take a peek. I don't see nothing down there except molasses, sneered the swamp devil. I'm glad enough of that, said Liza Lou. I was afraid you might jump down inside to get a better look. She slipped. Woman power, right? Okay, there he goes. He's looking. He's looking down in there. He wants to see the Parson's soul. He wants that soul. The devil always wants your soul. Why, that's exactly what I'm going to do, said the swamp devil. And before you can say cats are sneaky and a fox is sly, but the devil's best friend is a blue bottle fly. That swamp devil turned himself into a fly and buzzed right out the jug. Right into the jug. He buzzed into the jug, guys. He went down into it. There ain't nothing down here at all, he hollered back up. Oh, yes, there is, Mr. Swamp Devil, said Liza Lou. You are. And with that, she pushed the cork into the jug real tight. Yay! She got that devil. Look at her face. Determination. That's a look of determination, ladies and gentlemen. And she's running through the woods. As far as Liza Lou, she skipped all the way back home to her mother. And from that day to this, no one has ever seen hide nor hair of devils, gobbledygooks, witches, or haunts in the Yellow Belly Swamp, and no one misses them either. So what do you think, guys? Look, it still even has a card in it. Isn't that something? First Street Elementary School. And that, my friends, is Liza Lou and the Yellow Belly Swamp. I hope you guys enjoyed this. This is my book, okay? God bless you. Thanks for watching. I hope your kids enjoyed it. And may you guys stay home, stay safe, and stay blessed. Reverend Essie signing off. Have a wonderful day.